how do I get my students excited?
All right, welcome to another episode of the Inquiry Zone. My name is Sally Bawtinheimer, and this is
Aliya Caldwell.
we are two STEM educators at ETHOS, and we're excited to bring you another question this week.
Yeah, so science kits just went out for Elkhart Community Schools, and other schools are receiving their kits soon. And we received this. Help! I got my science kit. Now, how do I get my students excited?
When the kit arrives, it's just like in a tote that's opaque. You can't see through it, and it's just plastic. So, how can we get excited about that? Just a tub.
When they arrived at school when I taught second grade, I always loved to make it big and dramatic because as a second grade teacher, anything I was excited about or curious about, the students naturally joined me. And that is I don't know, maybe the best part of being a teacher is just bringing out that curiosity. So I would lug that big old heavy thing in and plop it down on my table. And of course, their eyes would get all wide, like, what is this? And almost like Christmas morning, we would act like it was a present. But Sally, other than just making it big and dramatic, how else can we get kids excited about science kits?
Well, not only just looking at the outside of the kit and being excited about, hey, look what we have here. This is inside here is a gift of knowledge that we're going to impart to you, and you're going to become so smart this year. I can't wait to see how smart you're going to get. Hey, let's open the kit and let's look and see what is inside. What is so awesome about this is there's no prep involved for you as a teacher. You literally get to open the kit with your students and together discover what's inside. What could you do with the things that are inside, Aliya?
Well, I think this is a great way to practice some of our inquiry skills. I love the skill of observation. So we had a butterfly kit, and I love to take out the pieces and parts because some of them, when you look at them, you think, what does that have to do with a butterfly? For example, we had packets of sugar and we had little sponges. Well, when I think of butterflies, I don't think of sugar and sponges. So I would pose the question, what do you think these could be used for? How do you think butterflies might use these? And the students would come up with all kinds of creative ways that they thought these items could be used. Some of our items in our kit are a little more obvious, like a magnifying glass or a net. They can probably guess those. But cups and sponges, and there was a paintbrush in there even. I really love to spark that imagination in my students. And I think there's more than just making observations that we can do with our opening and unveiling of our kits. Sally, what else do you think we can do?
Well, definitely we can start that inquiry process and we can ask them to make predictions. What do we think we're going to study? And Aliya, you had said that you told them, hey, this one's going to be about butterflies, and then looked at what was inside and tried to figure out how it fit into the butterfly puzzle. But you could also, if you want to, just cover up the label on the front of your kit and not tell your students what the topics are that they're studying this year in science, and then just look at the things inside and see if from looking at those things, like, hey, when they see a butterfly net, can they deduce that they're going to be studying about butterflies or not? That would be a different technique you could do to also, accomplish the same goal, but maybe have a different level of excitement. And maybe, you have 3 kits this year. Maybe you want to do it differently with each of the kits so it doesn't get redundant to your students and they know what you're going to do. Always have another trick in your sleeve, right?
Most definitely. And for our older students, this could be perhaps a good time to practice open and close questions. So instead of just playing 21 questions, which you totally could take an item and play 21 questions, but maybe we practice changing a closed question to an open question, and the students can practice questioning the items coming out of the kit to just get that deeper knowledge. And also it strengthens their observation skills because they really have to think about what are they seeing and kind of put together some background prior knowledge with that observation.
Another way we love to practice making observations is by putting things like we talked about before in the inquiry zone. The most common way to make observations is with our eyes. And so if we take away our eyesight, it forces us to use our other senses to make observations. So if you just were to take a couple of items and put them, say, in like a brown paper bag so that the student couldn't see what it looks like, and just have them reach into the brown paper bag and look with like to feel, look with their hands and see what noises it can make inside the bag and not use their eyesight, and then ask them to make some observations, make some predictions. That would be another way that you could practice that science inquiry process and build that excitement about what is in this bag. I'm so curious about this.
Yes, and I think you could even take some of the pieces out if you did this ahead of time and put them in a bag, like Sally is saying, and say, how do these items go together? So perhaps students put them on their desk or table, and then they have to try to come up with a way that they all fit together. What do they all have that's the same? What do they have that's different? Or can they categorize? These go together because this reason. These items go together for this reason. These don't seem to fit with anything. I have no idea what they're for.
Yeah. And you could work together in groups if you wanted. You could say to a group, like, you have this item, you have to give the class 5 observations about it and see if they can guess what item it is that you have. So there are so many different ways that you can just interact with the things that are in your kit without putting any of the content knowledge out there, but you're practicing that science inquiry process, and your students won't even realize that you're already teaching them. They'll think that you just are, pulling something out of your hat, which you are, but then you're also teaching them. It's like a perfect win-win situation for you and your students.
Yes, anytime we can practice any amount of the inquiry skills at any level, it strengthens that content knowledge and strengthens them as science students across the board, from kindergarten all the way through, I would go even beyond college, but I know we only deal with up to 12th grade.
And our goal is for your students to learn how to think like scientists. And by thinking like scientists, they can then learn. So, what a great way to get started with your school year. We hope that you have so much fun with your science kits this year. We would love if you would reach out and share with us about how you are building excitement with your kits. Share some pictures, share a little story about something that happened. We love hearing from you.
Yes, even though we try to inspire, we love being inspired by you as well. So please leave us comments, leave us pictures, as Sally said, and tell us those amazing ideas you come up with.
Thanks for joining us today on the Science Inquiry Zone. Bye.
See you next time.
The outstanding teachers of the Fairfield Community Schools continue to work with the Inquiry Zone to provide the best science instruction to their students, as do the dedicated teachers at Roosevelt STEM Academy and Elkhart Community Schools. Thank you for your dedication.
ETHOS offers the Inquiry Zone professional development to schools, helping to ensure a robust, fun, and cross-curricular approach to science is supported in all grades. Please contact us at contact@ethosinc.org.